get it.
Mm.
And how does life test you?
Oh, it's just adversity
Oh,
Yeah.
of all types.
Every experience.
Yeah.
Every experience. Yeah.
You can put a negative slant on everything, like
Yeah.
meditation.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, true.
Yeah. Yeah, remember, always already happy is who you are. And then bring that everywhere with you. You know, whenever you're in a stressful situation, difficult,
Mhm.
have that thing in your back pocket, pull it out, and say, oh, I am always already happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
How does this apply right now?
What do I do?
See, that's the power that
yeah.
comes from meditation. So when you meditate really well, you have that personal power to bring that card with you everywhere and remember it and use it in all situations. We're only here for a short time. None of this really matters. It's just a dream, so enjoy it. And understand suffering. I always get back to understand suffering. So be able to discriminate when you're actually really having suffering or when you're just contriving it, just being reactive. So always remember, always be happy. Right, Alia? Are you always happy?
Get there.
Getting there.
ABH.
Yeah. So when you sit down and meditate, you can do that. You can say, all right, I'm here to sit with being already happy. I don't have to do anything right now, so I'm just going to profoundly feel it. I'm feeling it. What does it feel like to be already happy? Anybody ever experienced being already happy? All right. How does it feel like for you?
Absoluteness, without complication or form or movement.
Mhm.
No problem, no striving, no self.
That sounds good. Anybody else feel it?
Groovy.
Groovy? Feels groovy?
Totally effortless.
Totally effortless?
Childlike.
Childlike?
Childlike.
Yeah.
Openness.
Goodness.
Just happy.
What does unhappy feel like when you're doing a meditation on unhappiness? What is that feeling?
Strategic.
Complicated in mind.
Agitated.
Agitated?
Circular.
Okay. What is there in life to be unhappy about?
Everything.
Whatever you want to make it.
Suffering.
Not every single thing. How about holding a little baby?
That's what I felt.
Oh, I used to feel that way a long time ago.
What about ice cream?
Yeah, there's some good stuff in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's good stuff.
Good ice
Right?
cream. Fun enough.
There's good stuff, right?
Right.
We're enjoying it. If we didn't have enjoyment, we wouldn't do anything, right?
Right.
We wouldn't move.
Except
Take action.
kill. But yeah.
Yeah, we have to have some enjoyment. Take action. Well, that's why you meditate, so you can feel already happy more and more, bigger and bigger, instead of, this is too much to feel this happy. You know, like, happiness is like intimacy, don't you think?
Yeah.
Because when you're happy, when you're intimate, it's both kind of embarrassing.
No, yeah. It's definitely
And you
embarrassing.
only can do it well if you don't have a self, a personal self, just judging it.
I see.
Yeah. So if you're not judging it, you can be really intimate or really happy, both at the same time. So happiness and intimacy are really close to each other. And how many people want to really be intimate?
Yeah.
You do? Might have a hug festival then. Hug time! Too much, too much, too much.
Imagine the Grinch and the Trolls together.
Oh my
Too many
god.
hugs.
That should be our mashup movie.
The Grinch and the Trolls together.
Oh, there you go. That'd be a combo, huh? Yeah.
When you used to say, when you talk about meditation, you would say, you know, a balance between focus and feeling.
Mhm.
I often wondered if it was just, it's almost like you're focusing on that feeling of happiness, and it just gets so nice and still. You know, you're focused on what reality is rather than, well, I suppose being sort of fogged out and not really feeling much. You know, you're. Do I?
Yeah, I obviously have a different imprint than you
Yeah.
because how did I get here and you're still there? I don't get it. And yet we're in the room saying we're already happy and we already love each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is the struggle?
What is the struggle? It's in the mind. It's just an imagined kind of thing. Like there's one
You think
problem to solve.
you
and
think
that's-
you're already happy or already now? That you could be already
Yeah.
happy? That you
Yeah.
are already happy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so your enlightenment is here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not big yet, and
Right.
powerful yet, and great yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're looking like, well, how do I get it to be big and powerful and great?
Mhm.
Well, you already got the basics, so
Mm-hmm.
just stick with the basics of it,
Mhm.
which is, remember,
Yeah. Remember.
be already happy.
Yeah.
So you can just be. You don't have to qualify with anything, happiness or unhappiness, or
Mhm.
thoughts or no thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Just be, and you will experience the bliss of being, just naturally occurring. That's what you actually are as a being, blissful, happy. So you don't have to do anything about it,
Mm-hmm.
but the complication of living here in these difficult belief systems cause you to not feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get
Not-
sidetracked.
Yeah, get sidetracked. So somehow you have to get there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can feel it right now,
Mm-hmm.
already happy, and you know that's the truth
Mm-hmm.
of your situation,
Mhm.
of who you are, that your being itself is happiness, or is true, or is love, or is intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
You know that already,
Mm-hmm.
then you are awake to that. That's what you are. You are awake. But your wakefulness is not powerful enough for you to experience it and under all conditions.
Yeah, I can let myself wander out of it.
Yeah. So if you never wandered away from it, that would be full awakening.
Mm-hmm.
If you wander away from it, so you can have like 5% enlightenment. You know, some of the people who are out write books and are teachers are, they could have like 10%.
Yeah,
You know, things like that. But it's legit enough, right?
that's enough.
It's enough for them. But if it's not enough for you, you want to be able.
Not
The
enough
first
for me.
period after I woke up, I would spend testing it. And I had a pretty difficult life in my early part of my life, as you know.
Yeah.
And I would test it under all sorts of conditions to see, is the bliss of being, is already happy who I am? Is that my state?
Mm-hmm.
And it would always be. So I knew then that I was never going to leave it. So my enlightenment was full.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went out and brought it to other people, and it
Mhm.
was full. And then I began to show other people, that's who you are. And you wanted to know that that's who you are. Because up to that point, until someone with real authority tells you that's who you are, you never believe it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's true. It's true. That's why teachers, a fully realized teacher is really good, because their authority tells you
yes.
who you are. And that is really helpful. It's really a wonderful thing, because otherwise you think, who are you? I can't get happy. I have to meditate 50 years and maybe I'll get a little happiness out of it. Or I have to get more money. Or not age so much, not look so old. Or be young and be hip forever.
Yeah.
But that's not gonna, none of those things are going to go that way. So how do you stay happy? How do you know your happiness? How are you happiness? Well, if you meet someone like myself who tells you that's who you are, and and your being says, that's true, I am that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not dependent on anything. I am that.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're going to be tested in every experience.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the difficulty lies.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why some people go out and teach or feel they're enlightened, because they hear that message in the moment from the authority that speaks it to them,
Mm-hmm.
the realized authority, and they go, wow, that is so true, I can feel that.
Mm-hmm.
But then have to live the rest of their life, and that's when things happen, right?
Yeah.
Yeses happen,
Mm-hmm.
all sorts of things happen, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where I guess most of you can say you've fallen short, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a circumstance that happens in your experience where you say, no way can I know who I am as already happy right now? Are there certain circumstances that come up in your life you go, I can't do that now?
Not yet, no.
Do you have a circumstance where something happens to you and you say, I can't be happy now? And sometimes it's boyfriend problems, school problems, work problems,
Illness,
illness problems,
pain.
difficult pain.
Or dealing
Fear.
with
Guilt.
others
Guilt.
in a really bad situation, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like violence or something.
Yeah.
Or psychic violence too.
Yeah.
Psychological kind of stuff.
So given that it's the nature of this experience here, a lot of negative violence, both physical, psychological, psychic. How do you know who you are there then? How do you live as already happiness? How do you feel yourself?
Not collapsing.
Yeah. You got to remember, take out that card in your pocket. I'm already happy, okay? Because you need it more when you're miserable,
Yes.
don't you?
Yes.
Yes.
So when you're just walking along by the river and it's nice out and the birds are singing, you don't have to be reminded that you're already happy because you know yourself. And sometimes life and already happy match up, but mostly it doesn't.
That's true.
Yeah, mostly it doesn't. It's easy. Enlightenment's easy. Living here is hard. But living here, and it's hard, and being enlightened helps. In fact, I would say don't go outside without it. Don't live here without it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because it's very difficult here. And why is it difficult?
Negative beliefs.
Yeah, mostly everybody is embroiled in negative belief systems. Fear. Everybody's afraid of sustainability issues. Everybody's afraid of death. Death's the enemy.
Fear of suffering.
Yeah, people are afraid of intimacy. They don't know how to love and give love and be open-hearted. Everybody's in it for their own personal happiness, which is usually involving, I don't know, what does that involve?
Hurting someone else.
Yeah,
Somehow,
getting
usually.
something, being on top of somebody.
Yeah. Yes.
Being over somebody, being more important than somebody. And who's more important than you? And your already happiness. That's true.
It is.
Yeah.
Live your life as if you're the most important person in it.
That's beautiful.
How else are you going to be happy with it if you're not the most
Taboo
important in it?
against that, though.
Yeah, it's taboo, intimacy with your own self and love for your own self. Big
Mhm.
taboo. No one is supposed to be really love you. It's hard to really love yourself because you look and you go, I'm not handsome enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not skinny enough, I'm old, I'm young. You get all these reasons, right? You go over them every day and everybody reinforces them. You got your flaws. But even the Grinch is hard because 3 times too big that day or whatever. Too much too soon. And the Scrooge also got his got a heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scrooge did. So if those guys can do it, you can love yourself.
Gosh darn it.
I can love
People like
myself. Is there a difference between loving yourself and being overconfident?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's overconfidence?
Not careful.
Ravana.
Yeah. Rub it up.
I think it's emotional defensive against outcomes. Like, I'm going to be self-protective.
Yeah. It's being above somebody all the time.
Smugness.
Yeah.
It really isn't noticing anything either.
Yeah.
Projecting.
So spiritual life is your life. And you're the most special person in it. But the secret is you're not a person. It's so awesome. You're a lot bigger than that. You're way big. And talk about being fat. It's way big.
Enlightenment's fat, man.
Enlightenment is
Fat.
bad.
You're a fat cat now.
You're ready to gain some pounds.
Yeah, you're a fat cat now. Yeah, it's the simplest thing in the world. But here, it isn't. It has been the simplest thing here. And it's because there's a system based on the fear of sustainability, being able to be sustained. And we created a whole culture around it, a whole culture of have-nots and haves, you know. And it's all based on some guy getting it at the top and trickling it down to us poor people here. And the fulfillment of happiness is not everyone being enlightened, knowing already happiness. It's what? Everybody says, all right, you have a right to be fulfilled. You're entitled to it. But what is that fulfillment you're entitled to?
Your date with suffering.
Your day with suffering? Okay. Spoken like a true old bitter guy. Your date with suffering. You ever meet the Grinch and Scrooge?
Yes, I played that part before. You might have seen it.
Daniel Downer.
Yeah, so what is it? Nobody ever questions. Like, everybody wants to be happy, but if the actual reality is you are already always happiness itself, then what are people doing here?
Avoiding responsibility.
Yeah? Avoiding intimacy. Avoiding making sure everybody has what they need and sharing everything.
Yes, yes.
Caring.
Caring. Why is everybody avoiding such good stuff for?
Because it's too much responsibility.
You think so?
That's what I thought.
Yeah?
That to be enlightened is too much responsibility. You
Oh.
have to be on all the time.
Oh, well, thanks for telling me. I'll have to start practicing. I know you have to look so holy and go around saying namaste.
Wear white. You have to
Wear white, talk so soft.
White ducks.
There, you have. There's a lot of rules for it, I guess. But yeah, you'll find your way. Just be yourself. It's always good enough.
Awesome.
You're
wonderful. You're awesome.
Well, someone from Rhode Island can do it.
Or Long Island.
Long Island. Anybody from any big place like Alaska? No.
Albany. No.
New York.
Maryland.
Long Island.
What's that?
Long Island.
Long Island. So, I just want you to feel really happy and hopeful about your enlightenment.
Yeah.
I do. I really
Thank
don't.
you.
It's precious.
Thank
really
you for
precious.
valuing that for us.
Yeah.
It's really precious. And, you know, the part of practicing it under all conditions, well, that's your responsibility.
Yes.
If you love yourself, if you love enlightenment, that's your responsibility. And if meditation is part of that for you, then meditate, please. Meditate. If hanging out in your underwear on nice days, I don't know. I don't know. It's everybody's unique. Whatever you know.
Whatever pleases it.
That's a good thing.
Does everybody feel like they're doing what they want in their life? That they chose it? They're happy about it?
Yes. Yes.
Everybody feels that way?
Yeah.
Really?
Not school.
Not school.
Not school.
Not school.
She's like me. I didn't like school either. So everybody does?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
I feel rich in my life.
So it's the life that you are having is the one you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Than I ever dreamed.
I couldn't bring anything. I wasn't doing
Yeah,
it this
actually.
way.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So that's where you can live your already happiness then. It doesn't have to look like another kind of life. So you don't get to a certain place and now you're like the supreme meditator. And you can stand with your foot on one leg with your hand in the sky for 10 years. You don't have to do any of that stuff.
Years.
You just have to live in the life you're having. And know that that's the life that you wanted. And that in that life, you live your already happiness. Basically, my life is one of artist. And
Mm-hmm.
I do some writing and art and wander around. I love nature. And
Demonstrating love. Living it for us.
oh, okay. That's good too.
I'm glad.
It's fun. All right.
Grateful for it.
I'm always looking for some good souls to hang out with.
Mm-hmm.
Good people who love to love and know they can be happy now. But over the years, there's been a lot of complaints about your unhappiness. You believed in it, and I said, don't believe that. But you believed in it. You believe in it anymore, Emily? No? No, that boyfriend stuff's gonna make you unhappy anymore? Okay. Pull up the card. What would it be like to be a woman and not have to be made happy by a guy? And you just did your own thing, and you knew the bliss of being as your very self.
Yes,
Whoa.
thank
What would
you.
it be like to be her?
There's the liberating message for women.
Yes,
Yes.
because no man will ever validate you or create your happiness for you.
Yeah.
And no woman will ever do it for a man, even though you want them to. No, because we're all on this journey of our own design. We have to choose it ourselves. We have to create it ourselves. We have to love ourselves. And we have to know our already happy is right here, not over there.
Good message.
Yeah. So if you don't make that mistake ever again, then you'll be living your enlightenment a little more fully. Whenever you leave it. Gets that, doesn't it? Because enlightenment's the answer for every problem you'll ever have. You'll look at every problem and say, nah, I'm not buying this one.
It's a dream.
And we've all had suffering in our lives, right? Yeah. Or maybe not, I don't know, I can't speak for her. Who's had an easy life with no suffering?
I've had pretty easy.
Yeah? Oh, okay. You certainly made up a lot of suffering.
This is for balance.
I was just trying to be fun.
You're trying to hide your good karma from everybody. Right? I got this whole good karma, I don't want anybody to know about it. It's so great, my life.
That's why I act like this.
Everybody's an
It's all a
actor.
show.
Everybody's an actor.